The title of our paper is Decoding Learner Behavior in Virtual Reality Education, Insights from Epistemic Network Analysis and Differential Sequence Mining. The authors of this paper are myself, Antony Prakash, and my guide and professor, Ramkumar Rajendran. We are from Center for Educational Technology, Indian Institute of Technology, Bombay, India. In any learning environment, learners engage in the environment to achieve their learning goal. Whether they have achieved their goal or not is visible, but the pathways followed by them to achieve that goal is not visible. Traditionally, how learning has happened is unpacked by think aloud data, interviews, self-reporting, or human observations. However, to understand the learning processes in real time and to provide supports and scaffolding, researchers collect and analyze the learner's interaction log data with the learning environment. In this line, aim of our research is to understand the learning processes in a virtual reality learning environment by analyzing the learner's interaction behavior. To do that, we developed an interaction behavioral data logging mechanism that is able to log all the interaction traces happening through handheld controller. We published this as a poster in IEEE VR 2023. Now we have enhanced the interactional behavioral data logging mechanism by including the logging of noticing traces. We attached an invisible ray to the main camera of head-mounted display. Whenever the ray comes in collision with any other virtual object, the event gets logged. We deployed the interaction behavioral data logging mechanism in a virtual reality learning environment called Maroon VR, developed by Johanna Pirker and her group from Graz University, Austria. We adapted Faraday's electromagnetic laboratory scene from the environment and we deployed our IBD logging mechanism. In the environment, the learners can grab the magnet, drag it in and out of the coil that induces EMF in the coil. The EMF is plotted in the virtual graph. They can vary various parameters and experiment with the magnet. To answer our argues of understanding the behavior, we conducted a study with the 30 participants. The participants' performance scores were collected before and after intervention, and during intervention, their interaction traces while they were interacting with the virtual reality learning environment is logged using IBD logging mechanism. This is the learning performance scores. This is an excerpt of raw data collected. We extracted the action events from this raw interaction trace data using the logical expression provided. These are the various action events. These are the metrics of various action events, frequency and distribution of all the action events. We mapped all the action events to a task level action event such as information acquisition, information processing, spatial exploration, manipulation, experimentation, and evaluation. To do behavioral analysis, we went for literature survey to understand what are the behavioral analysis techniques available. We listed sequential analysis, clustering techniques, sequential pattern mining, process mining, contextualized differential sequence mining techniques, and CTAM for SRL, which includes a package of epistemic network analysis and data visualization techniques. In this, we zeroed on pattern mining and epistemic network analysis. To do the behavioral analysis, we segregated the participants into high performers and low performers. Actually, we segregated the based on the performance scores, we segregated the participants into tertiles. We considered only first tertile and third tertile for the behavioral analysis to identify a sharper contrast in the behavior, whereas second tertile, the participants in the second tertile were excluded. Behavioral analysis using epistemic network analysis. So this is the network space in which the smaller circle, smaller dots show the distribution of behavior of the participants. The distance between the circles the distance between the dots show how much similar their behaviors are. The central square box indicates the mean of the behaviors of the learners of the particular group. The dotted box indicates the confidence interval. This is the epistemic network model of high performers and low performers. To get a difference in the behavior between high performers and low performers, we constructed a comparative epistemic network model. We found that there is no significant difference in the behaviors of the learners on the task level actions. So we went for the epistemic network model, comparison of network models on observable actions, and we found that there is a significant difference. Also, these observable actions, they do not consider the duration of action event, they consider only the presence of an action event, so that we labeled the action events based on the threshold value of the duration as short action event, long action event, and whether it is occurring for the first time and or whether it is occurring repeatedly. We constructed epistemic network model on labeled action, and we found that there is a significant difference in these behaviors also. The epistemic network model gives relationship whether an action event is performed or not, and the links between two action events. It does not give information whether the transition is from action 1 to action 2 or action 2 to action 1. To identify the transition, we did ordered epistemic network analysis on task level actions, which is shown here. Also, ordered epistemic network analysis show the transition only between two actions. To include the sequence of actions that involve more than two action events, we did differential sequence mining. It is a kind of pattern mining. These are the different patterns that are significantly different between two groups. So from epistemic network analysis, we found that high performers showed interconnected actions, whereas low performers showed intra-connections between actions, and high performers showed more effective inferencing and noticing behaviors than the low performers. Also, high performers exhibit purposeful spatial exploration, whereas low performers show unstructured wandering. Also, high performers systematically manipulate key experimental variables to test and observe electromagnetic effects, whereas low performers engage in parameter adjustments but fail to test and observe electromagnetic effects. Also, high performers perform iterative execution, and high performers show a more immediate and efficient interpretation of visual data than the low performers. Overall, the high performers exhibit a structured learning approach integrating exploration, parameter manipulation, experimentation, and inferencing effectively than the low performers. So the contributions are, we are able to develop a mechanism that is able to log all the interaction traces happening in virtual reality learning environment, including the noticing traces, and it can be adapted to any virtual reality learning environment developed using Unity game engine. And we did behavior analysis on and identified the key differences in the behavior. This is helpful for early prediction of behavior of the learners in the environment, learning environment, that is able to, so that we can personalize adaptive scaffolds can be provided so that learning can be optimized. So the limitations are, the behavior analysis done is very content specific. It is very limited to only EMI concept, and also the sample size in the experimentation was very limited. So this limits the generalizability of our study. So future scope, we are planning to expand the VRL content to other STEM concepts and serious games. We are planning to increase the participant diversity and sample size, introducing goal-oriented learning environments, and advancing behavioral analysis techniques through ML models and reinforcement learning. These are our references. Thank you.